Hello, my friends, and welcome once again to the cottage kitchen at the Elliott homestead. I have a helper here with me today, and we're going to be showing you how you can kind of utilize all those bits and bobs and end pieces and small harvests that you might be pulling from your garden right now. When we first started gardening, we had one small little raised bed sort of in the corner of our rental property. And so I would pull out very small amounts of produce and not really know what to do with it because you don't have enough, tomatoes for salsa, or you might not have enough pickling cucumbers to do up a whole batch of pickles. But this is often what home gardeners are left with. You have a couple carrots and some peppers. We have one head of cauliflower here that we just pulled our last one, some beautiful long red onions, just kind of funky bits that we're not quite sure what to do with. We're going to be utilizing some very basic tools for this recipe, some good sterilized glass jars, of course, as fresh of produce as you can possibly source. And really the only tool that we're going to rely on other than that and sea salt is our Kamikoto knife. So we're going to be doing a lot of slicing and dicing today, and you're going to see me utilizing this knife a lot, which is the Nakiri vegetable knife by Kamikoto. Kamikoto isn't just the sponsor of today's videos, but these are actually knives that I have stocked my kitchen with for years. Stuart bought me my first Kamikoto knife years ago, and ever since then I've been redoing my entire knife section to include all of them. This is probably my most used knife. What I find really helpful about this knife is, of course, the scooping aspect of it. So you're chopping vegetables and then you can kind of transfer them to where they're going, which is really going to be helpful in today's recipe. But also it's the way that it fits in your hands. These are knives that are used in Michelin star kitchens around the world. They're very precise with their blades, the way that Kamikoto has shaped their blades, and also the ergonomics of just how it fits in your hand. Like, it feels really good. So very happy to introduce you to Kamikoto knives. Again, link below the video. Use the code EHOME to get $50 off of your first Kamikoto purchase. This is the Nakiri vegetable knife. I have lots of their knives, but this is another one that you might want to check out. This is their paring knife. It has a fancier name than that, but this is probably my second most utilized knife in the entire kitchen. In fact, I think you can make a lot of headway with just these two. But this is the knife that we're going to be using today. Kamikoto, you guys are awesome. I love your knives. Thank you for making them so wonderful. Also, I'm getting ready to travel in a couple of weeks, and I'm contemplating taking some of my Kamikoto knives with me. If you do travel, your Kamikoto knives come in this really beautiful ashwood box, and you can put them right in there. Safe travel or just safe storage in your kitchen as well. So here we go. We're going to be, what? There's an earwig on that. There's an earwig. This is how you know it's garden produce. Where is it?
It's right there.
Okay, well, oh yeah, you're right. We'll just flick it off. Oh, he crawled down in there. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with today. We're going to do it in a very delicious way. We're going to be utilizing all this summer produce and making giardiniera. So I was first introduced to giardiniera by my friend Angela. You guys know her, Parisian farm girl. Angela's from Chicago, and they eat giardiniera on everything. I had never heard of it before because I think giardiniera is actually more popular in Chicago than it is in Italy, but I think it should be popular everywhere. Giardiniera actually means from the garden. And I think that's the perfect name for what we're going to be making here, because I'm going to give you a basic recipe to work with, but you're going to adapt and you're going to make use of whatever it is that you have in your garden. Here's what I have. This is what my garden is offering me right now. So this is what we are going to be using to make our giardiniera. The basic idea behind giardiniera is that we're going to be pickling vegetables in a way where they'll last for months in the refrigerator. You can also can it, water bath can it, and it'll stay for a long time like that. I don't do that. I just keep it in my walk-in because I have room to spare. But then you can eat the giardiniera all through the winter on roasts. I think in Chicago, I know I'm going to get a lot of comments on this. I think they eat it on like sandwiches, like a pulled beef, Italian beef sandwich. Anyway, we just eat ours as like a side salad. So one benefit of just keeping it in the refrigerator is that it stays really crunchy. And so when you eat it, it really does eat like a salad. It doesn't eat necessarily like a pickled vegetable, if that makes sense. Okay. So here's what we got, a hodgepodge of things from the garden. This was actually a cooking community recipe that I shared with my group a couple of months ago. So I have a little recipe card here. If you're ever wondering what the cooking community recipe cards look like, this is what they look like. I keep them in my kitchen. They're wipeable, which makes them really nice. And Juju's going to help me. So giardiniera starts with just chopping everything up. We're giving it a nice rough chop. Juju, if I chop it, will you put it into the bowl for me? Okay. That's what we'll do. You'll notice that I really rinsed my cauliflower because earwigs love cauliflower. There is, nothing wrong with some bugs in your vegetables. You just wash them out. It's not a big deal. So I'm going to do just kind of bite-sized pieces. Isn't this a beautiful cauliflower? I just grew some of it. I wish I would have grown more because it's just pretty. And we eat with our eyes first. So I've kind of shared with you guys a couple videos ago about how, yes, we want to preserve food and that's very important, but we also take pleasure in our food and we want it to look nice. So whenever I'm making my giardiniera, I always think, what is this going to look like in the jar? And trying to just come up with really beautiful colors to play with. So purple cauliflower is a really nice addition to that. You tell me if you see any more earwigs, okay?
Okay.
I think we got them all, but.
I saw one.
So you can take the time and chop up your vegetables. Oh, there's one.
Where?
Go away, mister. As finely as you like. I tend to keep them a little bit on the bigger side because it helps them to retain a little bit more of the crunch. Stems of the cauliflower taste the exact same and are really crunchy. So use those too. There you go, Juju. Great job.
Why is my aphid dying?
You're doing a great job. So while I finish chopping up my vegetables, I'm going to get my brine going. And this is a really standard pickling brine, which is half water, half vinegar. I love vinegar and I can kind of stand a really potent, strong vinegar. So I'm going to be using apple cider vinegar, equal parts for a half-gallon jar. It'll be about 4 cups of water, 4 cups of vinegar, which is why I buy it in bulk.
Mom, can I pour it in?
How about I pour the vinegar, and then you can pour in 2 of these from the Berkey. Okay?
Do what?
Fill this with water twice. This with water twice and pour it right in there. Okay? I'm also going to add in 2 tablespoons of salt to my brine, which is going to help, of course, bring out the flavor of the vegetables and help preserve it as well. Fill, yeah, all the way to the top.
So I can pour it now?
Fill it a little bit more so it's all the way to the top. Making giardiniera is certainly not complicated. You just kind of have to submit to all of the chopping. So giardiniera should be made with your garden's crunchy vegetables. Celery and cauliflower are very traditional additions, as are green onions and carrots. All crunchy vegetables. This is not a time for you to use your tomatoes. That will just turn into mush. This is meant to be a very crunchy, pickled. Oh, sorry, honey. I was putting them in, wasn't I? Did you add 2 of those?
Yep.
Okay. And the heat's on?
Yep.
Okay.
I actually spilled them on the
That's okay. Don't those smell so good? Another very traditional flavor in giardiniera is fennel. So I don't have fennel bulbs yet, but I have these beautiful fennel fronds. So I'm going to be using those. I'm just going to tuck them right down into the jar. I've got some really gorgeous celery. Juju loves celery. Again, I just have the leaves here, but we're thinking about this, careful, shoo, like a salad. So because we don't really eat ours on top of a sandwich, I can cut my things quite a bit chunkier. Okay, Jude, you want to move that, all that celery in? And carrots, another very, where did I stick my peeler? Another very traditional vegetable. Beautiful carrots. So I grew a whole bed of storage carrots. I grow a bolero storage carrot, which stay in our cold room for the whole winter season, really. But the problem with fresh carrots is that everybody loves them. They're so good and they're so sweet. And so we have only a few left. But that's okay. We still have time to get another bed in. And I normally don't take the time to peel them, but they just do look nice in the giardiniera when they have those nice, clean edges. So I'm going to be using these long red onions. These actually started out as a beautiful little scallion, which is like a small onion that you would eat, like a green onion from the store, although these ones are purple. And I just let them grow, and they're spicy. Ooh, and strong and beautiful. So I'm going to cut some nice little, everything I'm giving like a nice 1/4 inch chop. There you go, Juge. In you go.
Ooh, holy, makes my...
I know, it's spicy, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're doing great. I think that's close to a 1/2 gallon there. I think we might have gotten a little bit more than we need.
It's so hot.
Don't use your hands to wipe your eyes. Wipe your shirt.
Poor thing.
So blurry.
You're doing great, Juge. So when we head to Italy in a couple weeks, one of the goals that I have for this trip, because we will be working and creating videos for you and blog posts while we're there. Ooh, spicy. I'm really curious to find out how some of the older Italians preserve their food. I feel like preserving food, you know, it was passed down from generation to generation until very recently. And there's so many things now that we just miss out on because we just don't have the same information. And it'll be interesting to see if we can find new ways or more efficient ways to put up some of this food that we grow. I'm particularly interested in different ways that you can preserve meats without freezers. Now, obviously in Italy, you get a ton of salt cured meats. That's something I'm going to have to get a lot better at. We've done bacon, and we've done prosciutto in the past. We've done various confits and sorts, but never quite nailed like the salamis, which are actually a fermented meat. That's a little bit of a different technique. Anyway, I'm really curious to sort of see what we learn in that department because I'm going in with my eyes wide open. Okay, Juge. I think that's pretty good. So, of course, this was made popular in the Chicago area by all of the Italian immigrants that came over not long ago. And they brought with them a love for oregano, a love for fennel, a love for these beautiful vegetables that grow well throughout Italy. So we're really relying on a piece of history to make just this beautiful preserved vegetable medley. Okay, Juge, we are going to season with some bay leaves. Can you put like 3 of those bay leaves into the jar? I'm also going to utilize mustard seed for their flavor and their color. These are just some whole grain yellow mustard seeds. Oh, Stuart's making fun of me for saying utilize too much. Did I say utilize again? Sorry, you guys.
Why do you why can't you say that?
Daddy says I say it too much. Okay, look at this. Look how fresh and beautiful and colorful that is. Can you imagine how welcomed, and it smells like heaven, how welcomed that would be on your table in the wintertime? Okay, how easy is this? 1 big bowl, whatever veg you got that'll stay crunchy. I'm so sorry, Jude. I think we made plenty. Look at this. Isn't this great too? Because not that many gardeners grow 20 heads of cauliflower or 50 pounds of pickling cucumbers. Okay, we made lots. We're going to have enough for 2 gallons, which is awesome. Pack it in there. You can add chili flakes. You can add jalapeno. Angela adds a lot of jalapeno to hers because she likes it really spicy. Black peppercorns, all different kinds of flavorings. Oregano, celery, bay. It's all very traditional. Oh, we're done there. But I forgot another really important piece. Where is it? Garlic, obviously. Let's add some cloves of that, huh? It's not gonna make your eyes water. You poor girl. If your garlic is being a little naughty, give it a good old smash. That'll break it up quick. Can you see those colors? Are you catching that? This is worth growing purple cauliflower for, just this alone. Filling it up nice and tight all the way to the top. Is that nice and tight, Juju? Looks like it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay, so all that's left to do is add our boiling hot vinegar brine. And then we'll, hold on, we're gonna put the brine in. And then we'll clamp that closed and let it cool to room temperature. So I'm gonna break from tradition. Go figure, I cannot follow rules. And I'm going to add my spice from Piment d'Espelette, which is a chili powder that's grown in the Basque region of France. All the chili powders in the world, this is my absolute favorite. I use it on everything. It's spicy, but warm and citrusy, and I just love it. It's my favorite pepper. It's a certain type. Maybe next year I'll try to grow it in my garden. I'm gonna add my heat from that. It's delicious.
Can I pour it in?
I'm gonna pour it in because this is really hot, okay?
No. Aw.
I know, sorry. You can close the lid when it's time. Ooh, careful if that gets in your eyes.
Why if you get in your eyes?
It's very vinegary, like burns. Woo! Oh, that smells so good. We might not have made enough brine, Juge. We might need to make some more.
Dump that whole thing in there.
Oh, oh, nope.
Okay.
Right on the money. Okay, let's very carefully make sure there's no liquid or food blocking the way.
It's okay, Bella.
You got it?
Yep.
So you could certainly use a mason jar to put this in with a lid, or there's those great glass jars with the plastic lids. You could use that as well. Here, ooh, is one that we've been already eating off of. We put it up for winter and we're eating it, which is not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to save it. Can you grab me a spoon, Juge?
Got some too?
Yeah, you can have some. Can you grab me a spoon so I can dish it up? So after this hot vinegar sort of works its magic, it won't really cook the vegetables, but it will pickle them. You can see the color difference, although this has white cauliflower instead of purple, so it's not going to be quite as colorful. There's a few different things in this one. I can see red peppers, peppercorns, so it's probably safe to say I never make my giardiniera the same way twice. There you go. Okay, I hope that this is helpful for you. I hope that this helps you to use up all those weird bits from your garden that you're not sure what to do with. It's a very simple way to preserve, doesn't take up a ton of time. Just get a sharp knife and get to chopping. So I'm gonna put a link below the video to the Elliott Homestead cooking community if you guys would like to learn more about how we teach people how to become confident home cooks who love to cook. I'm also gonna put the link below the video to the Kamikoto knives. Make sure you use the code EHOME so that you can get $50 off your first purchase. This is a great time of year to get stocked with really sharp knives in your kitchen because there is a lot of chopping to do in this season. I obviously have some more work to do, so until next time, cheers.